So we gather tonight, this yearly ritual, this Yom Kippur, all of us, all over the world, to shine a bright light into our lives. You know, the tradition gifts us this day, actually many days leading up to it, to shine this light and look at who we most long to be. And to get to this place, our tradition gives us melodies and weighted ritual and words of prayer, nudging us to do this, pushing us to do this work of looking at deeply into our lives. And probably the poem, the prayer that gives the biggest push is the Unetana Tokef prayer that we do at Rosh Hashanah and also we'll do tomorrow morning. It's not a nudge, it's a big push and maybe a kick with it. It's a poem, a prayer that was written about 1,000 years ago by an unknown author, but has become really central, a centerpiece of all of these high holy days. It says, "Let us proclaim the power of this day, a day whose holiness awakens deep awe. All who come into this world pass before you like sheep before their shepherd." And then the key part that haunts us each year. How many will pass away from this world this year? How many will be born into it? Who will live? Who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age and who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by war and who by beast? Who by famine and who by drought? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who will rest and who will wander? Who will be calm and who will be tormented? Who will live in poverty and who in prosperity? Who will be humbled and who will be exalted? What a heavy way into these days to be reminded in this cold reality that we are not in complete control. The stakes are high. This poem, this prayer reminds us with something of a sledgehammer than a feather. Maybe it's so intense because we just have these few days to get it. To launch us into this new year. They wanted so badly for us to get it. But it's true every day, whether or not the Unetana Tokef is shouting it at us. We do not know who will live and who will die in this next year, who will face fire and who will face hurricanes, who will have a baby and who will lose one, who will move with ease and who will face tremendous obstacles. We are not in complete control. We can control many things, but we cannot control everything. This is sung, this is chanted, this is written all over this day. This day of our deep faith. This reality is written all over this day of our deep faith. The Reverend Sloane Coffin of blessed memory. Excuse me for needing this. He said that many clergy people think it's their job to help people be certain. That many clergy people think it's their job to help people be certain. But that he felt it was his job to help people be with uncertainty. As do I. That is what Yom Kippur is about. A day to strip away everything, all of the habits, all of the distractions and avoidances that we use to hide, and just be with the uncertainty. Some of you are already living in that place. You don't need today. In fact, maybe today is comforting to you because it's as if the community joins you here. A place that can often feel so lonely. The community joins you today. Maybe you've lost a job, or a long-term relationship has ended, or you've gotten a diagnosis, or you've lost someone close to you. And you are in this place every day. And today on Yom Kippur, the community sits with you here. All of us in this place together. For some, it will just be today. And you will take the reflections and the learning by sitting in this uncertainty with you into your new year. And for others, the uncertainty will continue. So what do we hold in this place? What holds us in this place of not knowing? I die, 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 yai, die, 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 yai, die, 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 die. As soon as I got the diagnosis, and it continued inside of me, this lie, die, 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 it kept going. It came out of my lips in the doctor's office. It came in my home. Yes, lie, die, die, die. You're doing a version. I feel it. It came in the doctor's office. It came scan after scan. It came during the bedtimes that I was missing and the story times that I couldn't be there for because I was in bed resting. This lie, die, 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 it kept holding me. Here in uncertainty, we sing. Song says, I have faith, I am here. We sing these songs when we have no words. There have been so many no words times in our history as a people that we have developed a whole group of wordless songs. And we have a name for them. It's a nigun, and these nigunim, there's so many. Because there have been so many times when we have had no words. Individually, when there are no words, and laidai is what comes out of our mouth. And as a people, as we've moved from land to land, as we've faced tremendously intense leaders in the countries that we've been in, we've done this for years. And it's song that has held us in these places. It's as if a rope comes down in these moments of reaching for melody. A rope that we can hold on to in this place of uncertainty. A place to hold on to our deepest truths, that which we will always know. When we say faith, it's what is it that we have faith in? What is it that we have faith in? What is repeated over and over and over in our tradition? What is it that we have faith in? Our prayer book answers us again and again. It's kindness, it's chesed, it's compassion, rachamim, it's tov, it's goodness, it's shalom, it's peace. We grab on to what we have faith in. I was so nervous about beginning the radiation treatments. They were going to be 7 weeks of daily radiation, 5 days a week. And because of where my growth was, which was right here in front of my ear, I had to wear a mask that covered my whole face and came down to about here. And the mask had little bolts, honey, is your word. I try to avoid that word. But bolts, I guess, is a good word. So you put the mask on, and then the bolts are bolted down so that you cannot move, so that I could not move, so that anyone who has a mask on cannot move. I know some of you in here probably have experienced this as well. And in addition to the mask, I had to wear a plastic guard in my mouth so that I would have it open in such a way that would hit just right. So I had practiced. I asked if I could take home the mouth guard to practice, being afraid of not being able to breathe, but you can breathe. And I put the mouth guard in on the first day, and I laid down, and they put the mask on me, and these beautiful people, helpful people, bolted me in and left the room. And I felt in that moment this incredible feeling of total submission. I was completely immobilized. That was the point. I was to not move. There was nowhere to go but to be so still and submit to this moment. And as the machine started, I started to cry, and tears began rolling down my cheeks inside this mask. And my thought in that moment was about all the people who had made this moment happen, all the people who had thought about such a machine and tried it out and then repaired it. All the other people who had laid down in just this way and allowed this brilliant, potent light to come onto their bodies, and then over time to study those people and adjust it. And all the people out in the waiting room waiting their turn, and all the radiation therapists who were helping me. And it felt like I was not alone in this room, but there was this sea of humanity who had all contributed to this moment so that this unexpected place of uncertainty was being held by this sea of humanity. And I was so grateful. I just started weeping. I was holding on in that moment of complete submission to that which is so much bigger, to that which we can hold on to. That sea of humanity that I felt every time. I was never alone in that room. I often felt literally that feeling you feel when bodies are close to you, though I knew that nobody else was in there because everybody left to get away from that potent light that was going to be healing me. And that sea of humanity working together towards something that will help someone else, even if it doesn't help you, that is the divine. That is what our faith tells us we hold on to in these places of uncertainty. That is what we hold on to. So on this day where we gather to remind ourselves of what it is that we hold on to. For some of us, we're grabbing onto that rope right now with everything we got. For others of us, it almost becomes challenging to remember that when life is flowing smoothly. Holding on to this reality of uncertainty creates this kind of tension. But Viktor Frankl says that this kind of tension is an indispensable prerequisite of mental health. An indispensable prerequisite of mental health to struggle in this place and to create meaning in this place. That is why we come back year after year to find it again. To clarify, to define, and commit to our deepest truths that hold us in the uncertainty. They shall be our guide for this year. That is what is in the wordless song. We are scared. It is hard to be a human being. We are not in total control. And so we sing. We sing. We are here, the best of ourselves, of our humanity, of each other. We are here. May we fill ourselves, our families, our community, our world this year with kindness, with love, with compassion.